Hey, Scott Lehrer, president of militaryfairs.com, your one-stop shop for travel. If you're a member of the military, if you're a veteran like I am, or a family member of a military person, go to militaryfairs.com. Great prices on airfare, hotels, packages, vacation stuff, militaryfairs.com. Special shout out to GigSky. GigSky is an eSIM company. If you're traveling overseas or you're on a cruise, check them out, GigSky eSIM technology. You get 1 free gig of data plus 20% off of any other data purchase. Book through militaryfairs.com, follow the link, and then you'll go to GigSky, type in promo code militaryfairs, boom, a free gig of data and 20% off future purchases. Also, shout out to Non-Commissioned Officers Association. I am a member of the NCOA. They represent enlisted veterans, active duty, family members, the NCOA, Non-Commissioned Officers Association. Happy birthday to the United States Navy. Now, I'm not going to tell you about the history of the Navy and 250 years, continental, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to tell you about is my own experience. So, it's 1979. I'm working in the Kmart camera department in North Aurora, Illinois, about 40 miles west of Chicago. And yes, I did do the blue light specials. Good afternoon, Kmart shoppers. Welcome to your North Aurora Kmart. Focal 110 film, 27 exposure, regular low price, $1.99. Wait for it. For the next 3 minutes, 99 cents. Focal 110, 27 exposure film here in your Kmart camera department. And the funny thing about that, people from the other departments would come to me and say, hey Scott, sell this basketball. Hey Scott, sell this lingerie. Hey Scott, sell this TV with the blue light special. And I love doing it. So I'm working in the Kmart camera department. I'm a senior in high school. And the assistant manager says, hey Scott. And I go, hey, what? He goes, what do you want to do with your life? I said, I don't know, but I know I don't want to go to college. And he goes, join the Navy, see the world. He forgot to tell me that the world's 75% water. So the next thing you know, I called the Navy recruiter. I did not tell my mom and dad. And the Navy recruiter picked me up and I went into Chicago and I had the ASVAB test and this, that, and the other. And so the guy sits me down and goes, hey, what would you like to do in the Navy? I said, I don't know. And they said, well, according to your profile, blah, 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 how would you like to be a fire control technician? I said, no, I don't want to fight fires. And the guy laughed. He goes, you don't fight fires, you play with missiles and guns and stuff. I said, nah. He goes, how about a radarman, which they call an operations specialist? Now, a little sidebar, Senator Rick Scott, Republican from Florida, love him or hate him, I don't care. But he was in the same job description I was, an OS in the Navy around that same time. Well, anyway, I said, yeah, OS, radarman. I'm sitting in a room, air conditioning. I'm not out shipping paint. I'm not down there, loading supplies. I'm not in the engine room getting my hands dirty. Sitting in the Combat Information Center looking at radar screens. Sounded pretty cool. So then the recruiter says, hey, so you leave for, boot camp in Chicago, Great Lakes, next month. I go, I'm not going to Great Lakes. He goes, what? I said, I'm going to San Diego for boot camp. He goes, you're going to San Diego for boot camp. I said, okay, cool. Because there's no way in the world I'm going to boot camp in San Diego. Those barracks have been around since the 1800s. And of course, winter was coming. I'd leave in October and then October, November, December. I don't want to march in the snow. So I went to San Diego. I met a bunch of guys in my class, my boot camp class that I served with later on. So then from boot camp, I went to Virginia Beach, Virginia, went to OS, what they call A school, radar school. Went up to Maine. My ship was in 3 pieces, the USS Samuel Eliot Morrison, FFG-13. They put the ship together. We sailed it down to Boston, and then we were commissioned there, then down to Mayport. And about a year or so later, that's when I met my wife, Marty, at church. Been married 41 years, 2 grown kids, 3 amazing grandkids. I wish I had my grandkids first. And that's kind of how it was. I mean, I was on the Morrison, and then I went down to Key West, where our daughter was born, with the Hydrofoil Squadron. And then I went to Camp Lejeune. And that's why I have my Navy benefits, because I was there during that dirty water period. Got my VA hearing aids, good to go. And then my last duty assignment was USS Ticonderoga CG-47, the first Aegis cruiser, and went ahead and got out of the Navy. It was hard on the family being away, 6-month med cruises. So anyway, that's my story about the Navy. But happy 250th birthday, United States Navy. Thank you for this experience I've had in my life that has shaped my life. Honor, courage, loyalty, dedication, attention to detail. And I will say, if there's any young people out there, men or women, they're about to graduate from high school, think about joining the Navy. It's a great thing. And there's a young lady I knew since birth. She joined the Navy, and now she's going to like JAG school, and very proud of her. Love you, Brianna. And so the Navy, I think, is a great career path for people. And now, especially with computers and AI and all this stuff, I think it's a great career choice. Happy birthday, United States Navy. Scott Lair, thecruisegenius.com, president of militaraffairs.com. Have a great week. Stay tuned to all my channels. Lots of good stuff coming.